Morning guys, entering my healing girl era. I thought it would be cute to sit in this little park. I'm just taking my dog for a walk in the morning for some sunshine, fresh air and nature. But all these birds, they did this yesterday. When you walk through, they like all start chirping loud as at each other, I think warning each other that there's like danger around, because maybe they've got some little babies or something like that. So yeah, I'll probably keep on the move, but yeah, I thought I'd take you with me for another little vlog because I'm enjoying doing these at the moment. So one thing I wanted to just randomly start off on was remember to respect the people working in hospitality, because I went into this cafe yesterday. My smoothie machine is broken, so I've just been going to the cafe to get coffees and smoothies because I don't have a coffee machine either. And the lady that was on yesterday, I was kind of in a rush, I think, because I had to go to the supermarket to get some groceries and things like that. And I ordered a smoothie with like cacao and things like that, and just asked for an espresso shot. And then she was like, oh, just like one. She was starting to get so overwhelmed, like she must have just started working there. And she was like, oh, just one shot of coffee. And I'm like, oh, just like a double shot. And then she was freaking out on the spot. And then like the other worker was like, it's okay, she came in yesterday, I'll sort it out. And yeah, she was just really overwhelmed. I am the kind of person to have a short fuse. Like I actually got road rage yesterday, but I was just in such a good mood that I was like, no, it's fine. And just like really made sure that she doesn't feel under pressure, or like I'm not in a rush, and just being really polite and things like that. And I went back in today to get my coffee, and then she was like, oh, what was your name again? And she was just putting in so much effort. And yeah, it was just a reminder, like people in hospitality go through so much crap, and I could just tell she was so overwhelmed in the moment and like didn't want the customer to get angry at her or things like that. So that's just the first little thing I wanted to touch on. And then the other thing was I also tried to check out my new gym yesterday, the one I went to before. So like I always used to go to Snap Fitness, and where I used to live near Narang, like it only ever had like 3 people in it at a time, maybe max 5 people. So you just had the whole place to yourself basically. You can like grunt if you're doing heavy as leg press, never under pressure, all the equipment's free. That was my kind of gym. And then when I moved to my last house, I moved to a busier gym that was bigger, but there was just people everywhere. Like you couldn't get a seat in the dumbbell area, and I got such bad gym anxiety. I had to go at the perfect time of day to even be able to get on equipment, and then people would be staring at me. And I've talked about that before, like you've got to view it as something good. So if people are looking at you, it's probably because I had bright pink magenta hair, or I'm like musclier than the guys there, or wearing like bright pink clothes, or they might just be like, yeah, wow, like maybe I should try the exercise or something. So it's not always bad if people are looking at you, so try to just assume that it's about a good thing. But I went to check out this other gym. People, yeah, if you're someone that struggles with gym anxiety, remember that everyone gets it. And I would say I'm intermediate at the gym. Like I'm pretty good with like the exercises that I know, and once I know my way around, but not like the expert or an advanced level. But I went to this gym and I did not understand anything. So like the thing where you can hook on those ankle straps and do that exercise, like the weights were completely off kilter. And then when I went to hop on leg extension, first of all, it hurt my knees, not even my quads. Like the angle of the chair, it just like strained my joints. But then the weights were labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm thinking, am I the only one that doesn't get this? Like, is this some insider gym thing that even I don't know? Or like, what about someone who's an actual beginner and say they've got a coach? What do they say to their coach? Oh yeah, I lifted 3 today. What the hell? Like I honestly got so overwhelmed walking around. All the equipment was so clunky, even though it was the same gym brand as the last one. And it was so bad. I literally left after 3 exercises. I was supposed to do like a glutes day, and I've just like not really been in the mood the last couple of days. still trying to unpack all my stuff, and overwhelmed with my to-do list, and just like really bad fatigue, honestly. And something I learned this year is that when your body feels safe or is going through a major shift, you can often feel so tired for no explainable reason. And it's just I think it's my body just like purging the emotions or getting to the new house. I feel like I'm kind of getting sick, like my throat will be a bit scratchy, glands are a bit swollen, my whole body's aching. I actually put my whole back out from the move. If you saw in my last video, I like managed to get my whole computer desk and my chair by myself, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, independent woman. It's literally been, what's today, Thursday, So that's, and I moved on Sunday, so 5 days, and like literally one whole side of my back is swollen. I can't even reach it myself. I'm trying to get like the gua sha, and like I don't have much movement in my shoulders, so I'm trying to get the knot out, and yeah, it's like all protruding out and things like that. So yeah, that was not the best thing. So yeah, I just haven't been feeling like incredible, and still have boxes to unpack with my pantry and things like that. Hey, can you see the little dog? I had a massive sleep last night, and I thought I would do another little vlog and take you along with me for my healing girl era, and just chat about like how I'm settling in and things like that, and little tips to help you stay on track if you feel like you're just not slagging off for the end of the year. Like, it depends on how your year has gone. Like, if you've been working hard all year and you actually need to just like start to relax a little bit and get out of the grind, then that's like what you need. But if you feel like you've still got some push left in you and there's still goals you want to achieve, like October for me, all I was doing was job hunting, house hunting, job hunting, house hunting, and like I lost a whole month basically because of this move and everything. So if you feel like you've still got a bit of push left in you, then yeah, it's definitely time to look at our habits. Like, are we hitting our goals? Haven't been eating enough protein. Didn't even take Millie out for a walk yesterday. But just those little things. So today I got up and thought, if I wake up, do something, well, yeah, have a treat. So I got a nice caramel oat milk flat white. Take her for a walk outside so I can get some fresh air and nature, and then listen to some podcast, which is my favorite thing to do for my mood. Then it helps you get out of bed and start the day off on the right foot. So yeah, I thought I'd take you guys along for the ride and enjoy the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this style of content. Cool, so I just finished a gym session. I tried out a different location, but still under the same brand, and it looked like I had way better lighting and equipment and stuff, and I showed up. And as I was saying this morning about like being nice to people in hospitality, I actually like went in there like very stressed out. I get so lost in shopping centers and stuff like that when I go in, I've got to like take photos, like I'm on floor green D, and then take photos of like which shops are around the entrance and stuff, because I honestly just get so lost. And I was just getting stressed out because I couldn't find the parking for the gym, and I was trying to like call them and was on hold for like 3.5 minutes. So I just walked in, I'm like, I'm trying to call you guys, but no one's answering the phone. And the guy on the front counter was like, oh sorry, I was just busy serving. And I was like, oh sorry, I didn't know if it was going to like a call center or something like that. And then he told me where to park, and then I was just really stressed out. Like, his first impression of me, I was just in a huff and a puff. And then I got in there, and then he was so nice. He like offered me a free pre-workout, like my favorite amino drinks. And then he was like, oh, I'm surprised to know that you get anxious going to the gym, like you look like you compete. And when you walked in, I was actually intimidated by you. And I was like, oh no, I get like honestly really anxious just getting used to all the new equipment, and get nervous if people are looking at you and things like that. And then he was like, oh, do you want me to hold your hand like when you go around as a child? But he was so lovely. He just like honestly took the time to make me feel comfortable and showed me where the lockers are and stuff like that, and that just calmed me down. So it's just a little reminder, like, you never know what someone is going through, and if people come in like really angry, or if they've got road rage or things like that, they might be actually going through a really hard time. So it's no excuse. We should always try to be our best, but we have the opportunity to change it around for other people as well, by doing a nice gesture, or just by the way we treat them, or giving them a little smile, things like that. So the session went okay. Yeah, just did a leg day, proud of myself for going. My energy levels are actually back up to normal today. I feel better than I have in days. So yeah, I'm going to keep smashing it in the afternoon, work through some of my to-do list. And I've also got a bush doof next weekend. I'm playing 2 sets, so I need to finish off creating the sets. One of them probably needs 5 more songs added to the playlist, and the other one still needs to be made. And yeah, so I need to practice them and time them out and things like that. So yeah, I'll head back to it. Okay, join me for some car chats while I have some dinner. I just stopped off at this place called Tian Ran, which is in Mermaid Beach in Gold Coast, and they've got sweet and sour pork that's vegan basically. Oh yeah, vegetarian or vegan, but it's like crunchy. And I got another one that's like honey chicken. So I thought I'd stop in and get that on my way to Paint and Sip, where I'm going to be painting my own nude tonight. So I thought that would be very cute for a nice little women's event. So the other night I went to the WBFF event, and I wanted to go watch it from the crowd, so I could just see what it's like when the winners walk out on stage and you just know they are the winner, and they just know within themselves, and seeing the stage presence and the flair and the way they just own who they are and what they bring to the table. So that was a really cool event to go to. My idol, Hattie Boydell, competed in Australia for the first time in 9 years. She was my original inspiration for getting into bodybuilding and signing up for my first ever show when I stumbled across her Instagram account a while back. So that was super exciting. She looks incredible. I don't even know how it's possible to get a physique like that. And then also when I was waiting for the dinner, I just saw the announcement of the future for WBFF, because I mentioned in my other recent video about the behind the scenes of bodybuilding and stuff. I wasn't quite sure where it's going to go, because all this stuff came to light on my birthday, and I was sitting in the lounge reading all these social media comments about some corruption that had happened overseas, and someone passed away backstage and wasn't even given proper credit, like the show didn't even stop, and it's different things with what they're looking for in the people. Like a girl that I follow, she was told not to post too muscular or fitnessy content, like you've got to make sure you're more modelly and more girly, and it's just the whole point of that show is to be able to be yourself. So when that stuff came out, I was like, oh my god, are my goals ruined? Like, what am I gonna do? So I don't want to do any other bodybuilding show. I don't want to do IFBB. I don't want to pose all the same or wear the same bikini. I love the glam side of it and the model side of it, and how it's all individual. So they just announced their new brand, FMG. So I think it stands for fitness, muscle, and glam or glamour. So that is very exciting. So at least there's a future, I know that. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm heading to paint and sip soon. So there's a bit of a twist on this one. So you send in your nude, and then you've got to I think she draws it for you, and then you've got to paint it. So it's called Paint and Sip with Sab. So it's on the Gold Coast, if any of you Gold Coast or Brisbane girlies are keen on that. But yeah, also if you love like vegan or vegetarian Chinese food, go to Tian Ran. It's amazing. Okay, I just got back from the paint and sip thing, and I think that was a super important event for women to be able to connect with themselves. And we started off with a little meditation with our hand on our heart or our womb, and she just spoke about what are the ways that we're neglecting our bodies, ignoring our bodies, things like that. Like always, we might not be nourishing ourselves enough, or we might be going into overdrive, like trying to do too much in a day. And rest has been a huge thing for me this year, really stepping into my feminine energy. And even today I was like, oh well, I meant to do a leg day, but my whole like neck and back is seized up, and I just went and laid down and had a nap, and my body's aching as well for my time of month, and it actually helped my mood a lot, like just giving myself the rest. So yeah, the event was so nice. I usually don't buy things unless it's a necessity, but I was like, you know what, you deserve a cocktail tonight. So I got a little espresso martini, and even the bartender, he had to make it like 3 times, and that was the owner of the restaurant, and I think I made him nervous because I was just standing there like waiting for it, and then he was like, oh, that's not the right colour, and he forgot the colour, and he's like, okay, can't make it now, and then he fixed it, and then he's like, oh, can you just go sit down, I'll bring it over to you. And then he brought me over like these extra 2 little glasses because he wanted to make it like perfect. So it was a long drive home. If you haven't got these from the supermarket before, they're literally like the best snack ever. The nicest tasting chocolate thing I've ever had. 10 grams protein and 20% of your daily iron intake. Literally the best thing ever. So yeah, just came back and just catching up on some messages. It's after midnight. I've got a busy day tomorrow with 2 podcasts, one of them first thing in the morning. As I've been talking about, I've been doing a lot of mindset stuff. Like I had to drop my keys off at the old house, and that was a very emotional kind of thing, and like left the house bawling my eyes out, and just the negative thoughts come back like, oh, not good enough, you're not good enough to have the house, you're not good enough to have him, blah blah blah. If you were all these different things, then we wouldn't be in this position. It wouldn't have happened if you were enough. And it sucks that my brain goes into those spirals. But I drove home listening to my little healing podcast, and then as soon as I walked into my room, I was like, I don't know, it was still like a sigh of relief. Like I can be myself. I don't have to fit anyone's mold, even though that is what's causing the negative thoughts, like, oh, I don't fit the picture, I'm not the one, I'm not the unicorn wife. So even though that is what's causing me to not feel enough, as soon as I walked into my room, I'm like, oh, I don't have anyone to please apart from myself. I don't have anyone to tell me what to do apart from myself, or judge what I'm doing or focusing on, or how fast I'm achieving my goals apart from myself. So it is actually freeing at the same time. So yeah, there's negatives that I tend to dwell on, but there's a lot of positives as well. So yeah, 2 podcasts tomorrow that I'm really looking forward to. I've been enjoying uploading more regular episodes and really getting into it lately, so hope you've been enjoying it as well. But yeah, I'll see you in the morning. Just thought I'd do a little check-in. I'm laying in bed at night. I decided to have an early night tonight, and my bone pain is keeping me awake. I just had another lot of heavy painkillers, and it's like my thighs, knees, shins, ankles. It throbs so bad from like the inside of the bone going out. I don't know anyone else that has this, but it's literally keeping me awake. It's after midnight, but just thought I'd do a little recap of the day today. I feel like it's important to remember that any progress with whatever you're trying to work towards is never linear. So I don't know if you've seen the graph where it's related to weight loss. It's not just like lose weight, one straight line. It's the same as with your healing journey. I feel like every second day is different. So the other day I was on my period and I was extremely irrational and out of control emotions, out of control rage, like road rage, beeping my horn at people, like, are you on fucking holiday or what? Just like losing my shit everywhere I went. I was fuming. I could not even control myself. And this is the part of that, I think it's PMDD, because it's like not just a bit of moodiness or like, oh, PMS, like, oh, it's coming soon, I'm a bit emotional. It's like extreme. And then today woke up so happy. I'm like, life is just amazing. And I was cleaning the kitchen, went in for a job interview that's for a gym, and it's actually the fanciest gym I've ever been to, so wish me luck for that. Yeah, I had like a really nice self-care day. I went to the supermarket, finally stocked up on some good food, because good food for a good mood. So there's plenty of reasons apart from aesthetics to eat well, literally just for the micronutrient intake, just to keep yourself going. Like, you even notice if you're not eating well, like it comes out in your hair. I've just been eating too many white carbs, not enough veggies, not enough protein. So did a nice little healthy shop. I had a group call with my confidence coach Lucy Busby, so I signed up for a 5-week program called Boldly Becoming You, and I spoke about investing in yourself in a recent video, and I've invested in myself in many ways over the years, including confidence coaching several times with her. I've done different courses about manifestation and getting clear on your goals, and yeah, a few different programs that I've done over time. But when I met Lucy, she came into the health store that I used to work at, and then she's like, hi, I'm a confidence coach and I just wanted to know if I could put my business cards in here. And I was like, a confidence coach, what's that? And she even talks about now people from her family or whatever will be like, oh, like, when are you going to get a real job? And that's why there's people doing cool things in New Zealand, but I've really noticed in Australia it's a lot more common, or maybe I'm just more prone to being surrounded in them now. But people are going after what they want. If you can't find the job you want, create it. Like, I haven't really heard of a confidence coach before, but today we were going through, sorry if you can hear my dog snoring in the background. Today we were going through how to get back in the driver's seat when life hands you different circumstances. So I fall into victim mentality, like, oh no, all this stuff is happening to me. They did all this stuff to me. And I'm becoming self-aware of that now. But yeah, it's about being able to control what you do about it. So
are you just going to sit there and soak? Or she said you can become resourceful and think, okay, well, how am I going to get myself out of this situation and work through it? And the way you respond. So people can only take your power away from you if you let them. So because I rely so heavily on other people's opinions and things like that, I'm just giving my power away. But if I receive a negative comment, I don't need to let that affect my own view of myself if I'm strong enough within myself. So yeah, that was a really, really deep chat, and yeah, it was cool just seeing a couple of other ladies in there, popping with their own things. We can't share actually what other people talked about, but just different issues with their jobs and things like that. So yeah, she went through and answered our questions, and we've got a weekly call each week. So I'm a big fan of investing in yourself, because I've really been talking about these personal development topics more lately, because I don't think many people dive into it, or they don't know where to start. And it's actually not easy to look at the parts of yourself that need improving and to think like, oh yeah, I actually need to bring up these areas. I honestly don't know many people that have that kind of self-awareness. And another girl I had a falling out with when I left Rockhampton, it ended really badly, and yeah, she kicked me out of the house at 9 p.m. and end of last year she sent me a message, because I held on to all the negative things she said for such a long time. And at the end of last year she sent me a message like, hey, I just wanted to apologize for giving unsolicited advice. It's coming up to the end of the year and I just wanted to clear my conscience and say sorry, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, that's very mature of someone, and a good thing to do before New Year's, which I haven't seen anyone else do either. Like, if there's something on your mind, like reaching out to that person to close the loop or end it on a bit more positive note. So that was interesting. And then she just messaged me today like, hey, I've been following your journey, blah blah blah. And yeah, we just chatted briefly, and yeah, she just said back then everything she said to me was just a projection of her own feelings because she hated herself, so not to worry or take any of it on board. And even that comment, do you know how much courage that takes to say to someone like, oh sorry, everything I said to you was just a projection of how I felt about myself? Not many people have that kind of self-awareness, so I was very impressed by that. So yeah, I just want to inspire more people to dive down this path, because the world needs a lot of healing, and I've learned so much. And yeah, it's about taking responsibility and like looking at parts of yourself that need to be improved, like different personality traits, different beliefs, how you react and treat people, or how you are in different situations. And it's obviously going to be a never-ending journey for the rest of your life, but I hope that inspires you a little bit. So yeah, I had some of this chamomile stuff which I got in a gift box. It's like straight alcohol. You can tell I don't take shots. So anyway, I'm going to try and get some sleep now. I just feel so restless, but chat to you tomorrow. I wanted to show you guys the new nail kit I got from Glamrdip. I thought this would be super helpful to be able to do at home instead of needing to go to the shopping mall. So you just file off your old nails and you let them soak for 15 minutes. And I had a couple bad experiences at the shopping centre where I would get different people every time, or waiting for 2 hours, or they actually ripped off my old nails and my nail split and started bleeding everywhere. So here you can see I've got the bare nail, and then you just start filing it down, peel back the cuticles with the little tool there, and then you apply the sealing coat, and then you apply the base coat and dip it in the powder layer by layer. I've got a few different colours in here, but there's a huge range to choose from on the website. Dust off the top, apply another layer of base coat, dip it in the powder again. And that's the finished product. Hey guys, hopefully you can see this okay. Just thought I'd do a little video on the road because I honestly don't have much time. I haven't even popped on to film for a few days now. I've had a pretty crazy week with activities, but it's been really good to have lots of stuff to do. Haven't even been on my laptop for days. So yeah, the other night when I had the bone pain, I actually ended up going to hospital. It got that bad and I didn't even get to sleep at all. There was 3 people in the waiting room, including me. So I thought I'll get in half an hour. 2.5 hours. And I was like the only one in there for so long when the other people got in before me, because it's not like life-threatening, I get that. But yeah, no amount of painkillers would help, and I was in bed for like 4.5 hours and it just kept getting worse and worse. So that was very frustrating. But yeah, the nurses in the end were really good. They just said I need to
yeah, I did a promo job yesterday in Gold Coast, literally walking distance from my old house, so I had to drive all the way back again, then come all the way back up to Brisbane, and then I'm out heading to a bush doof now, which is my favourite thing to do in my whole entire life. And now that I'm single and not going in the four-wheel drive with my old partner, because there was a bed in that car, I can take my own car again, sleep in the back seat, like what I did the first ever bush doof I went to in Gold Coast. I rocked up in my Mazda 6, my little four-door sedan, and just like slept in the back seat. No tent, no setup, no cooker, anything. So I'm doing that again, but I've got a bit of a bigger car now, and Millie is coming with me for her second ever doof, so a nice little mummy-daughter time. So yeah, I'll be there in an hour, and then I literally have an hour till I've got to jump on. So playing 7 till 8 p.m. base stage, and then 6 till 7 a.m. tomorrow morning on the main stage for a drum and bass set. So yeah, it's been go. Woke up this morning a bit late and had to finish packing and practice my D&B set one more time to finish timing it out, and just yeah, making some breakfast and some food on the go, and just trying to pack the car. And then on the way, yeah, just trying to find like an ATM, and that one was closed. Oh yeah, it's just been like a long day. So I've got an hour before my set once I arrive, so I'll let Millie out and give her a bit of a sniff around and stuff, and then go do my set, and then bring her out to the dance floor later. So yeah, chat to you soon. I'm going to end this episode here. I got back to the house this morning, and I'm just unpacking my bags and setting up my room and everything, just getting back to life and making my weekly planner and to-do list, and catching up on some admin and emails and things like that, and planning ahead. So it feels nice to be back. I just absolutely love bush doofs because I think it's so good to just wake up outside and there's just music playing. It's a great sense of community. Like, people would think, oh, you're just going out to party in the forest, but it's actually healthy. Like, the people in the blue zones, one of the reasons they live to 100 years and older is because of the community aspect and staying active, and yeah, just being at one with nature. So it is actually really nice to have a break from life and go out to do those kinds of things. I did do one funny thing actually. I hopped up on the stage to play, and me and my flatmate, we actually have the same USB. And I remember years ago my friend played this festival in the snow in New Zealand, and when she hopped on the decks, they didn't have the connector cord for the CDJs, and she had to use like a normal USB and then just a random USB with alternate songs that weren't planned and try to make it work, and it was the most stressful thing. And she said just always take a backup USB with the exact same playlist, just in case like one of them corrupts or something like that happens. So lucky I hopped on stage, and yeah, it was none of my music. So luckily I had the backup, so it was just a good reminder. Like, imagine if I was like, oh no, it's just a bush doof, I'm not going to need a backup for that, and then drove 4 hours to play 2 sets after a week of practicing, or 2 weeks of planning them out, and then not being able to do anything. So yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, I had a great time, and it was Millie's second doof, and she did really well. She actually got a boyfriend while we were there. She never plays with other dogs. She hasn't even played like that since she left the litter. Like, she'll go up and smell dogs and then just run off goofy, but she never like fits in or with groups or plays with them for extended periods of time. And she loved this dog, and he had a really good nature, so that was super cute. And yeah, I slept in the boot of the car on her dog bed with her. So it was just so cute, a nice mother-daughter time. So yeah, heading back to the house now. Just going to stop in at the dog park, and then I've got a coaching call tonight for this 5-week course I'm doing with my confidence coach, Boldly Becoming You, which is all about not adhering to other people's expectations and things like that. So yeah, super exciting, but I hope you enjoyed this episode, and yeah, subscribe if you want to see more like that. Thanks so much for tuning in, and have a great week.